All right. Hello, my fantastic faction of followers, fans, and freaks of fun Fanicom festivities. I am ZiplockBob, and I am back after a lovely week-long vacation. I'm one of the two hosts here at Sequel Syndrome Podcast, a talk show about video games, their culture, and design and psychology. Now I shall pass you over to our master of ceremonies, the Zez.
Hello. Couldn't go 2 seconds without messing up this time, huh, Val?
Oh yeah, I'm like, wait, I forgot to unmute myself. Yeah, today's a dumpster fire, but oh
well. Today we are being joined with two members of the Loading Network, Pat and Ted.
Heyo.
Oh, hi.
Today we will also today we'll be talking about trends in gaming. But before that, I want to know, what have you two been up to lately?
Like in the gaming sphere, right?
Yeah,
anything?
Like, what have you been playing?
Playing, working on anything.
Well, obviously, we work with That One Video Gamer, so it's a lot of games revolving around there. For instance, I've been playing a lot of Hyrule Warriors recently.
Okay, Wii U or Switch version?
The Switch.
Okay, so you got the deluxe with all the shininess.
Yeah, bells and whistles. It's full of them.
That's gotta be annoying as hell.
It's also full of the grind.
Well, so the big deal, right, is our boss Gerard, the completionist, is working on that game for New Game Plus. But it goes so much faster when you work with a co-op partner. Mm-hmm. So I've just been helping him out grind through things. Mm-hmm. And even then, we're still on hour like 200 to 300 or something like that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's stupid, man. It's a fun game.
It's a Dynasty Warriors game.
And, yeah, it's a Dynasty Warriors game.
And I can attest to this because I've never played any main series Dynasty Warriors game.
Mm-hmm.
But
I have in demo form.
But I played the Dynasty Warriors Gundam games, and they're no better when it comes to like, oh yeah, no, because you have to grind out the suits level and its equipment, and the individual pilots and their affinity for each suit. It's nuts.
It's pretty rough. But other than that, I don't even know what else I've been having time to play.
Well, we're not going to talk about the adventures of Pat-Man.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Arkham games are great, man. Do you know how good the Arkham games are?
Dude, I had a month to where I called it the Long Halloween, to where I played nothing but Batman games.
It's incredible. Like,
yeah.
Honestly, Batman games are good. Even like starting with like Super Nintendo Batman.
Even NES Batman was like the original Batman game was a really solid blend of like Mega Man and like Ninja Gaiden.
Is that the one that's based off the film?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Very loosely.
Yeah, loosely based. Honestly, I think the title screen was based on the film.
Basically, like the box art, and that's about it.
It was a marketing ploy.
Yeah. So, the Arkham games are great. Honestly, in my head, it's all a build-up to Spider-Man now, though.
If I had a PS4, I'd be right there with you.
I feel you. I forgot. Is that PS4 exclusive?
Yes, it is. That's
man.
Sony's got the lock on that. Who's it? Naughty Dog that's making it?
No,
it's Activision. Oh, Insomniac, yeah.
I don't know, Insomniac. Yeah, Insomniac is a second-party developer. And for those who don't know, because I've never brought this up on here, a second-party developer is someone who makes something exclusively for a console. So, like, they only make games for, like, Sony. They don't make games for PC or a Nintendo console or Microsoft console or anything else.
Yeah, and so we've seen that with like Rare a bunch. That's the big one to bring up with second party.
Oh yeah. But the thing is like that can confuse people because it doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we own them. It's no, they just signed a contract saying like they only make games for us because it was a great get for the brand, like the PS4 brand.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Quantic Dream is like that.
Oh really? So, Ted, what have you been playing, my friend?
So I've been playing a lot of Castle Crashers. I'm trying to get through it on insane mode for the first time ever. Playing a lot of Here's the Storm as per usual, and Fortnite, and I think that's about it primarily.
Yeah, wasn't Castle Crashers like made by like a bunch of people from Newgrounds?
Yeah. Think so.
Like,
I know they think Newgrounds.
Thing is like back in the day in high school, I was a Newgrounder because they had the best Flash games.
Oh yeah,
of course.
For sure.
Everyone was there.
Right?
I loved that back in the day.
It's like you had that and ishouldbeworking.com. It was, which was, there was a feature on the website ishouldbeworking.com, and I don't know if that website even exists still, to where it was a button in the top right of every web page to where you click it and it would make it look like a spreadsheet.
Sure.
Oh my gosh. I remember I was on Funny Junk a lot.
Oh wow, that's a blast.
Yeah,
I did mini clips.
Mini clips.
Oh, mini clips. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, we all had our like web browser Flash games to play.
Yeah, we had mini clips. I think there was also Shockwave back in the day.
Yeah.
Jesus, I think we could make an episode over just like, here's some of the shit that you will not find anymore on the internet, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Oh man.
What was your website du jour for that sort of stuff, Zez?
Don't know if I had one. I don't think I had one.
Neopets or anything?
It's like, dude, go to Addicting Games. I mean, Nickelodeon bought them out and Viacom has ruined it, but still.
I didn't really get big into PC stuff until like 2010.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't own a PC. I was doing homework in the school computer lab.
Yeah. Nude in the computer lab,
Yeah. Well, that and like on the computer lab, somebody installed like Quake Tournament on all the computers, and we'd land.
Quake, Unreal.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, we had this interesting thing of doing. It was new for my area, to where you could go what's called college path, which was very traditional. They'd prepare you for college, or technical path, to where they'd actually give you job skills. So I went technical path, right? And you had like, and I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm going to go into computer design and culinary arts.
Hey,
there's
great.
No crossover whatsoever, but the reason why I took culinary arts is because I wanted a girlfriend, and I knew that women love guys that could cook.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, it worked.
If it works, if that worked, great. That's fantastic.
But yeah, I like one of the guys in there was like went to the computer lab, because instead of like hiring a proper company to come in, which they eventually did years after I got out of high school, it was like, no, the students will work on it and they'll be oversight. So like the teacher didn't give a shit. It's like, yeah, we don't care if you put games on there, just like don't advertise that they're there.
That's pretty stellar.
It was great. Like that guy was like, he was one of those teachers I was just like, listen, I understand that being in high school sucks. I will make it a little bit easier. You just try not to make my job harder on me. It's all I'm asking.
Oh, that's super legit. I love teachers like that.
Oh yeah. And the thing is like, he was the type of teacher that would actually sit down and give you fucking life advice when you need it too. So stellar, dude.
That's it.
But before we get into our actual topic of the day, Zez, let's talk about our sponsors.
Are you leading off, or am I?
You are.
Our first unofficial sponsor is GatherBot by AproVent. It is a bot that we use to fund the show as well as manage our chat over there. That's communicating with J to the Vise. It funds the show through free tips, which use mobile games or such just as donations directly to GatherBot comes back to the channel.
Yeah. And basically, why do you, instead of like using Streamlabs, something like that, the reason why we use it is like, Pat, you've heard of those things where it's like, oh, this streamer got $100,000 or like some god awful insane amount in a donation, but then it turns into a chargeback. What happens with this one? It goes to Opera Event, which is the company, and they're like, okay, we're going to hold on to this for a month. If it doesn't get a chargeback, we'll give it to you, and if it does, you're not going to deal with the problems. Like, that's what we're here for.
That's nice.
Yeah, but they also take 10% off the top after the first $100 you make it every month.
I see.
But they don't. But basically, if your channel isn't growing, they're not going to take money from you. Like, sort of thing. And actually, I was able to talk to them. I was like, yeah, it's June. It's my birthday month, and they waived it for that month. So they're pretty.
Oh, that's nice.
They're nice about that. But moving on, secondly, a special shout out to anybody who uses cheers, subs, or just uses Twitch Prime, even if you don't use it for us. Just thank you for being able to watch this ad-free while it's being live recorded. It's a great way to like support your favorite people if you already have an Amazon Prime account, such as any of the fine gentlemen around me.
Yeah.
God, that felt so shill.
I mean, it is.
It really is. And lastly is our charity of the month. It's Extra Life. Extra Life is a charity supporting Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Streamers pick a hospital in their area to support on game day to stream for 24 hours, or they can break it up between multiple days, which I'm really tempted to do this year, all while fundraising money to go to the hospital.
When does it take place this year?
I don't know the exact date. It's usually like one of the first weekends in fall. It's always on a Saturday. Like usually, like whenever the time zone changes, that's the weekend they pick to see if somebody will do 25 hours.
I'm just wondering if it was if it fell on the TwitchCon weekend. Is what I was wondering.
No idea. And honestly, it's a whole like you can have fun over at TwitchCon, friend. I'm good.
No, I was just wondering.
Oh yeah. So, trend chasing the companies. You guys familiar with that at all?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
All right.
Like the current trends, right?
Well, like current, like it can be any time that you've noticed it. Like we've got a list here, and some of them, like a couple of them, were pretty freaking old, right?
Okay.
Like an example of a trend that's still kind of being chased today are Pac-Man clones. As soon as something gets released, a Pac-Man clone is just released automatically. It's almost, you can expect it. But
interesting.
Now you see that makes sense because like you look at the impact that Pac-Man had, right?
Oh yeah, like Pac-Man Fever was a thing.
I mean, the song was in fact the thing, right?
Yeah.
You have to be pretty big to have a song after you. And like, I doubt there was a single arcade that didn't have Pac-Man.
Oh yeah,
Just
like
Pac-Man by itself.
because before that you didn't have anything that was like, I think the reason why Pac-Man was so big is because it was a fun game that also happened to be gender neutral.
That's true.
Like, you know, it wasn't like, oh, you're this little man trying to get the princess from the ape, you know, with Donkey Kong, for example. You know.
Well, and you know, on top of there, I would say you look at the original like Donkey Kong, which I don't know the exact years, but I'm assuming they came out around the same time.
Right.
That game, you still had to like be a bit more skillful to do it.
Oh yeah.
You had to jump. You had to keep your eye on things. Pac-Man, you basically are just turning left and right.
Yeah, like anyone can pick it up.
You're going to 4 nautical directions and that's it, and everybody can go, oh, it's a maze. I know what a maze is.
Right, exactly.
They're 1 year apart.
1 year apart. Got it.
Pac-Man was 80. Donkey Kong was 81.
Okay. Yeah, but some of the spin-offs that happened during the height of Pac-Man fever: Mousetrap, Snack Attack, Snapper, Dung Beetles. Sounds like a shit game. Thief.
Oh man, you
No,
just
no.
got ready for that one.
Oh,
This entire podcast was just building to that moment.
Jeez. Wow.
I love how they just call you on a bad joke.
Woof.
Oh, I harassed Pat one time with just pun after pun after pun, and I formed it into a news thing in his chat.
Oh my gosh.
Thief. No, not that one. This is a different one.
Thief time.
Three Felix and the Fruit Monster.
Mm-hmm.
And Hungry Man. It was Japanese only, released 1 year after Pac-Man. And it was
Hungry
basically Pac-Man.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't heard of a single one of those games.
I wonder why. Pac-Man overshadowed all of them.
But I look them up right now. Like I looked up Snack Attack. I looked up Mousetrap. No joke, they're the exact same game. They're not trying to hide anything.
Well, the thing is you can't, you cannot copyright gameplay, but you can copyright code.
Right. Well, and it's interesting, and we can get to this, but there's this whole big debate about PUBG, right?
Yeah, there's a reason why they went to South Korea.
Right. But we can get to that.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, I've got a McRib to pick there.
Sure. But with these games, like with how successful that is, of course, everyone wants a piece of the pie.
Right. Yeah. And okay, the thing that frustrates me is, okay, you want a piece of the pie, cool, right? And say if they make something that the gameplay's the same, but they jazz it up, right? As far as like the styles, the visuals, like to make it a whole new experience. Because as much as a gameplay hound that I am, like that's the big thing for me, right? The numbers and the systems.
Mm-hmm.
That's not 100% of what makes a game experience worthwhile. You still have the audio and the visual and the blah, blah, blah. Whereas, like, if you at least jazz it up there, I'll give it a soft pass.
That you're like, this is my limit.
It's like, just at least do that. But if it's just like, yeah, we changed the title screen, go get fucked. Just straight up.
If you like Pac-Man, you'll love this one.
It's like
it's
if you're making the video game equivalent of bagged cereal.
Hey, speaking of sound design, if you guys get the chance, you should look up Snack Attack. That's the worst sound design I've ever heard in a video game.
Oh God!
It just kind of sounds like a grandma fading away.
Oh,
yeah, it sounds awful.
That's depressing.
Yeah, the game's depressing.
The fact that it's a thing that people were paid to make this.
And we gotta think, like, once again, back then, it was probably like, what, 1 to 3 dudes working on this?
Yeah, like, for example, Adventure, which was made by one fucking guy.
Mm-hmm. Adventure, Pac-Man, I think was made by like 2 dudes. There was I don't know if you guys have seen anything by a YouTuber named The Video Game Historian.
Yeah. I know of Norm. I've actually I actually used him as a reference to get started when I was looking up stuff about the Video Game Museum, because I was doing a spotlight on that.
The dude's very knowledgeable. But a video he did was on Tetris, and Tetris was made by one dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how games were back then.
That's like an hour-long video, too.
Yeah,
I love that.
It's so good. It's never boring. It's well-produced. Like, my hat's off to him.
But back then, when you're talking about making these clones, like, that's just what they had. You know, how varied could you make games back then?
Yeah, and that's true to a point. But it's just like
right. Sorry, to a point.
Yeah,
but obviously the ones we're seeing here, it's not even to a point. They're taking the exact same game, putting a different color on it and being like, yep,
copy,
brand new.
paste, palette swap, done.
Like,
I am
this
a game
is what
programmer.
games are.
Like, you know, this is Unity asset reps before Unity existed.
Yeah.
Like, but it's just like, oh, no wonder the market got flooded. There's so many fucking clones.
But it's interesting because we're talking about those one, like Pac-Man's a great example here we're seeing. And I'm sure we could find clones of this. But we look a little bit like further on, right? Into the Nintendo Entertainment System. You're going to find clones there, but the big ones like fuck it, Mario, you know?
Yeah. Wasn't there like a couple of twin sisters that were like competing on Mario, but they were competing against them, but they were on the fucking Amiga?
What?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I actually
I have no
remember
idea about
this.
that one.
Like, you guys familiar with Larry Bundy Jr.?
No.
Okay.
Pretty sure you made that name up.
No, I didn't. He's a YouTuber.
Okay.
He has what's called Fact Hunt is the show, right? Very well researched. He has his own book because he's done so many. He's like, listen, I'm going to put this shit into a book, right?
Oh,
but
cool.
There was and he's still making them. There was to where like literally it was like, okay, we're going to gender swap Mario. We're going to put it like on the Amiga or the ZX Spectrum or some shit like that.
Are you sure you're not talking about Bubble Bobble?
No.
What
Are you talking?
about?
Are you talking about Ice Climbers?
No. This was never on the NES ever.
No, I'm looking at Amiga games.
Okay, time to look it up.
Yeah. You can't just spit this knowledge at us without giving us exact names.
But like, it was just like they were like the more raunchy version of the Mario Brothers.
Oh snap!
I don't see them.
Hold on, is it the? No.
Started with a G or something.
Is it the Gianna sisters?
Yes, the Gianna sisters. That's what it is.
You know what's fucking crazy? I don't know if you guys knew this, but there's like not a brand new game, but there was a game called the Gianna Sisters that came out that was two twin sisters.
Yes, but the original, they back in the day they made them, and it was released in May of '87. Shit, a month before I was born. It was published by Rainbow Arts, and it was on the Amiga, the Amstrad, the MSX2, like the.
It's crazy. You look up just a screenshot of this, and you're like, "Oh, that's Mario."
Oh, that really is Mario.
You see? It's like
that's super funny.
It's like, why?
Like, we can make jokes about like Tomb Raider basically being Uncharted.
Yeah.
But like, this is actually Mario.
This is legit. Like, the fucking level design's the same.
Yeah, it's just
I was like, I'm sorry, but if I did that, I would be the crass son of a bitch. It was like, yeah, instead of going down a flagpole, they just slide down a stripper pole.
No, they still go down tubes.
You remember like that? I mean, that's when they got away with crazy shit, right? Like Custer's Revenge. It was literally the Wild West of gaming where they didn't give a fuck.
Zez, have I ever told my Custer's Revenge story on a podcast?
I don't think so.
Oh no.
Okay, so
Here it comes.
I was in 1-7 Cav, right? The 7th Cavalry might sound a little familiar. That was Custer's old unit, right?
Oh, wow.
All right, that's historic. That's awesome. Also, if you ever watched the movie We Were Soldiers or read the book, same unit, right? Or the same squadron, right? It was just a different section of it, right? Because I was not air cav. Fuck heights.
Sure.
That said, I'm like, so they have this thing called the board, and the board is or the promotion board. And the promotion board is like, you know, they ask you a bunch of questions, and at one point you have to do like to present a piece of history to your. This is how little of a fuck I gave about this board, by the way. You gotta present some history about your unit, right? And,
Sure.
And I'm like, General Custer was the first person to be in the modern military to be portrayed in a video game.
Wow, that's what you dropped on them?
Yeah, and they're like, "What? Where's your proof?" And I handed them a copy of Custer's Revenge and screenshots.
Oh my god!
Because I didn't want to be a sergeant because I had to re-enlist to become a sergeant, and I wasn't re-enlisting.
Sure.
They're like, "What the fuck is this?" And it's like first sergeants and the sergeant major just looking at me like I just grew a dick out of my forehead. And I'm just there straight faced the entire time.
Honestly, the dick out of your forehead, that's pretty close to the game, too.
Basically.
Ted, have you seen this game?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
For you don't know, you're dodging arrows and raping a Native American woman who is tied to a cactus.
It's messed up.
Don't worry, it's an Atari graphics, so it's like a big pixelated wiener.
Right.
Because I was curious, I searched the game, and then there's a section what people have also searched for, and there's this game on the Atari 2600 called Beat 'em and Eat 'em.
Yeah, that was on a Angry Video Game
my
Nerd
gosh.
episode. It's basically the game to where you catch bombs, but instead you're two women catching jizz in their mouth.
Oh jeez.
Mhm.
Oh god.
Yeah, you got this guy with his dick hanging over a building, just jerking it off down the building. You're like, ah.
Oh god.
Boy, howdy, were games weird back then, man.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen this one.
Yeah, these were the unlicensed porno games. Yeah, you guys didn't know what the fuck you were signing up for, did you?
I was just pointing this out because this is one of those things where you go into the dark corner somewhere with your topics, Bob.
Why is the jizz yellow? I don't get that.
They had a lot of pineapple.
Got it.
Let's segue
Let's
our
move
ass
on.
back.
It's,
The situation's getting too sticky for my liking.
No.
So,
oh
here's another popular...
god.
That was the most unnecessary.
Super.
So here's another popular game to where it wasn't the game itself that got cloned. There were changes, but it did cause a massive industry boom of a certain genre. World of Warcraft and the boom of the MMO. Here are some of the games that were released the year World of Warcraft was made that were MMOs as well, or the year after, right? City Heroes, City of Villains, Perfect World, The Matrix Online, Guild Wars, Silk Road Online, Rose Online, Shot Online, which is a fucking golf MMO that I could not make up if you paid me to, Club Penguin, Dot Hack Fragment, I got a tangent on that, Urban Dead, Dungeon Fighter Online, which I think is still going, Star Wars Galaxies, which you can still find fan servers for, Ultima Online, and Archlord. All these were released either in 2004 or 2005.
And Warcraft was 2004, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Ultima Online was actually 97, but
Right. To like actually put this in perspective, we're not saying World of Warcraft is the first MMO.
We're just
You
saying
know,
it's
there was Ultima,
what
there was
caused the
EverQuest.
trend.
The boom, if you were.
Yeah.
The boom. But
It was the
okay.
match to that particular wick.
I don't know about that because from what I'm saying, a lot of those games came up before Warcraft. Warcraft was just the one that popularized it.
Sure.
To another level. Like EverQuest 2 was before it. City of Heroes was before it. Star Wars Galaxy was before it. Planet Zoo was
RuneScape.
before it.
Hey, Zez, you're out of
Shadow
focus.
Bane.
Maple Story.
I'm out of focus. I shouldn't be out of focus.
You're back into focus. But no, here's the one that gets me, right? And like these games that aren't like before it, but it's just like WoW was the one that dominated the MMO boom, or that caused it in my mind, at least. And this is how fucking popular MMOs were at the time, to show you how prolific WoW was to be the top contender, because it had a lot of competition, right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing that gets me. .hack, right? This was during like the PS2 ass end of the PS2 era, blah blah blah, right? .hack is an offline game for the PS2 to where you play as a character in a simulated MMO world end game, to where in the game lore, yes, it's an actual MMO called The World. So the fact there's an actual MMO based off of that, like, that's like finding Street Fighter the movie, the game. It's like finding antimatter. It makes my brain melt just a little bit finding out that exists.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, though. If done well, that would have been a super fun game.
It would have.
I guarantee it wasn't, though.
Well, it might have actually been, because I just don't know if it got over to American shores. Could have been.
I see.
Because you got to remember, at one point in at least American history on how internet was done, say MMOs could not have been possible because how internet was charged in, say, MUDs, right? Say my character performs an action on your character, me being from the East Coast, you being the West Coast. For me to perform that action, I have to pay for the time that it takes me to do it, as well as the distance between me and you.
Oh
that
my
gets
gosh.
prohibitively expensive, and this is a text-based system. Yeah.
You know, something I just want to compare these two game ideas that we've brought up so far, right? Pac-Man and World of Warcraft. Because the big difference right now is the ones we saw with Pac-Man is they were just clones, right?
Yeah. With this one, it's a business model.
This is the idea. This is how games were done. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone could confuse World of Warcraft and, City of Heroes, for instance.
Yeah. Or even if you took, like, say, World of Warcraft and another high fantasy game, the aesthetics will be different. How you play it's different, Like, yes, to someone who's not into gaming at all they see is orcs, wizards, and this weird shit for nerds. I get that.
Yeah.
But
Kind of solidified the genre, maybe.
Yeah.
But the thing that's interesting is they saw how much money was in this.
we need to make
because,
MMOs.
On this list, and I don't know all of them, but I know, for instance, Guild Wars didn't have a monthly subscription.
No, it was you pay, you got it.
Yep, but World of Warcraft, very well known, had that. I think it was $9.99 a month.
Yeah. Warcraft started the subscription services,
and
or at least majorly popularized it.
That was a big turnoff for me.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, it's like, listen, if it was subscription only and you don't have to pay for the base game like it is now, I'd warm up to it a little bit more. But it's like, you had to go to the store and give them money to get a 1 month trial and the game.
And
yeah,
it's crazy because that was 2004. We're 2018, and I think we're just finally starting to see these MMO RPGs that aren't charging a subscription service.
Yeah.
Or getting backlash for it.
True.
I know a big thing with Final Fantasy XIV and Elder Scrolls Online was the subscription fee.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
This is kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but like we went from the MMO boom to free to play, right?
Right.
But the problem with free to play MMOs is they break what I consider the cardinal rule of a free to play model: don't sell power.
And
I
think Ted, you know for sure, MapleStory was free to play, right?
Yeah.
So Ted has a lot of experience with MapleStory in this like whole both thing.
Yeah. I'm actually thinking about trying it again.
See, that's how they get you. They get you, and they got you for life.
I know, right? But yeah, there was not really pay for power that I remember. It was all like cosmetic stuff.
Yeah. It's like paying for
game.
flair I have no problem with.
Yeah, me
you
neither.
pay for this cute little pet. What does it do? Jack shit.
Yeah, I don't know of a lot of them that actually pay for power.
With MMOs, it's usually not in the the PvE side, the you fighting like NPCs and stuff, it's usually in the PvP side. That's like
PvE?
Oh yeah. Say again?
You said PvE? Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
No,
he's
he's saying
PvP side, player versus player side.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said it wasn't in the PvP.
Yeah, it's normally not in the player versus environment. It's normally over in the player versus
I see.
player. In my experience, I could be wrong. Who knows? But one way they get you, right, is, oh, you pay for this subscription. I got this free to play game. It's like, yeah, but you get this stuff, right, this currency that you can use to buy stuff that's exclusively for PvP. You know?
Okay.
I think SWTOR did that, I believe.
SWTOR never did
No, sorry.
I played
SWTOR. I went to SWTOR because it was the one to where I went to Dragon Con just to try out the game. And it was, and that's a 3-hour drive, which is insane, to try out a fucking game. And it was a beta build. DC Universe Online.
Okay.
Like, the PvP is so fucking broken in that game.
Interesting.
No.
But it's free to play now. It was released, you had to pay for it. Not monthly, you just had to buy the disc.
Right.
I'm like, well, shit.
You know, it's interesting because in that free to play model, I think we see most MOBAs right now.
Yeah, which the one thing that saves MOBAs is they typically go with the model of, listen, if you play it a lot, you can get everything.
Yeah, which is nice.
It's going to take a fuck ton of time, but if you like the game, that's a good thing.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We have in our apartment, because Ted and I live in the same house. We have two like very drastically different approaches to that. Because Heroes of the Storm has been big in our household for basically since it came out.
Yeah, HOTS is usually a hot thing.
Come on, that wasn't even fun, right?
I didn't even
He's
realize that was a
waiting.
pun. My bad.
You're always waiting. You're always waiting.
But we've got
Yeah.
Ted, who basically hasn't spent a dime on the game.
Yeah.
And we've got Chris, who has spent a lot on the game.
Almost when every new hero comes out.
You know, they both ended up at the same place virtually, but one of them got there a lot sooner. And I can't knock the game for that.
Yeah. Like
It's giving you an opportunity to play how you wanted to, and you understand the limitations you're forcing onto yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is the game's free up front, so I'm fine with it, right? And they have and there's one thing that we haven't mentioned: the rotation, right?
Right.
Like if they didn't have the rotation, I wouldn't even play it.
Yeah, it's true. It makes it kind of exciting in a limited way for new players each week. I think
Or
it's a
just
smart
for
idea.
cheap bastards like myself.
True.
Well, and you know, this once again, it by no means is League of Legends the first MOBA, but I think we can look at that as like the one that once again really popularized it.
Yeah, it
thought it
definitely
was
caught
Dota.
fire.
See,
Or Dota 2, but even then, wasn't that a
Dota 2,
mod?
right?
The first Dota?
That was
Yes.
the first Dota.
Well, the
First
first
Dota
Dota
was a mod, is what I'm saying.
Right. But I'm saying like they were big. Once again, you know, EverQuest was big, but World of Warcraft brought it to the next level.
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
I think that's what League of Legends did.
Yeah,
I
I
see,
mean,
I see.
there's one thing when it comes to like, oh, it's big in the gaming sphere, right? But when it starts cross-populating pop culture, that's when it's big in my mind.
That's true.
Like, yes, Evercrack was huge.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
WoW was bigger because my grandmother, who knows nothing, the woman's in her 80s now, okay? She knows nothing about video games. She's heard of WoW. That's how big it is.
Yeah.
Like, she's seen a commercial or two about it. They've got the money behind it.
But it is interesting to me how these games that kind of transcend the gaming sphere, how they end up shaping it as well. Because we brought up Dota and Here's the Storm, Smite. There's all these MOBAs that came out after.
Oh, I forgot about Smite. Poor Smite.
It looks like the first MOBA was actually Aeon of Strife.
Mm.
Well, and I think Ted played a game called, what was it, Heroes of Norath?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's the
Newerth.
Yeah.
Which was basically Heroes of the Storm before Heroes of the Storm existed.
Mm-hmm.
Or Hero Attack was that.
Oh, Hero Attack. Yeah, my bad.
No worries.
But League of Legends made it this thing, and once again, I think what we're seeing with all these trends is these companies are chasing the dollar sign, right?
Yeah, and the thing is I don't blame them, right? To a certain point, because it's never the first of something, right? That's the most popular. Like, let's talk about like old school first person shooters, right? What were they called before we started calling first person shooters?
Shooters?
POV shooters?
Doom clones.
Oh, sure.
Wolfenstein was first. It was not the best.
Right.
Although
there are people who would argue that too, though.
That's true. Yeah, I will hear people argue Wolfenstein over Doom.
But, as far as the best in the financial sense, if that makes
Sure. I get where you're going from.
The stronger brand, like the shit that companies care about more than, say, your average gamer. Mm-hmm. So I get the mindset of like, you don't have to be the first. You just have to do it better. Fine. Then actually do it better, asshole.
But that's not always even the case, right?
Yeah.
For instance, I want to go back to, we can go to Halo, World of Warcraft, League of Legends.
Let's go with Halo.
Great. I'll shoot on Halo. I fucking hate that series. All right. Halo is basically defined the first person genre, right?
Yeah, for its era, yeah.
Of course, like, don't get me wrong. We had Doom, we had Wolfenstein, and like even like more recent we had like GoldenEye, right? In terms of like a multiplayer experience with your friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Halo, and specifically in my mind, Halo 2 and 3 took that even further with the online aspect.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about, was it the Noble 17?
Oh yeah, who like left it on after the servers
kept
went down?
it going for an extra 2 months because they were
Actually
shutting down the servers.
Which is, it's cool, but there's so many better games that came out after Halo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Halo may have defined it, and they may have made a lot of money, but they're not the best.
Yeah, and speaking of Halo, you remember like in marketing, like you'd see commercials or like in a magazine, it was like, this game's going to be the next Halo killer.
Yeah.
For 2 fucking years, I heard that shit.
For a while, they're still saying it.
Yeah, I'm just like...
Just a name drop.
It's like, oh, yeah, thank you for reminding me of a better game I could be playing later.
You know what? It's interesting that you brought that up. Because nowadays, I don't know if you guys knew, I like fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
So the big one I play is Street Fighter V. And every game that's come out after Street Fighter V, you'll see just nth number of comments being like, this is it. This is the game that's going to kill Street Fighter V. Injustice 2, killing Street Fighter V. Tekken 7, killing Street Fighter V.
They're different types of fighting games, like completely.
Dragon Ball Fighters?
It's fucking crazy how much people latch onto one game and then they have to start comparing every other game to it, though.
Yeah, and the thing is like, okay, you're a fighting game, man, so So, and probably much more than I am, because with me, I'm very casual. I just like looking at the mechanics, going, "Oh, this is how they like the systems kind of work," and I enjoy watching.
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah,
voyeur,
sure.
basically, right?
I mean, it's a creepy way of saying it, but yeah, I'm with you. I'm fully there. I'm invested.
It's like, I like to watch, but I don't want to in on the action. I'm good over here because I will get wrecked.
Sure.
But yes, Ted, I'm
more you
wording
know.
these all horribly for your benefit exclusively.
I don't.
Love it.
Here's the thing. I don't even know if you're getting to a point or if you just wanted to call yourself a lawyer.
But
Either way, I'm
here's
like,
the point, right?
I'm here.
Like, let's take those 3 games you talked about: Tekken,
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Kombat, the series overall, right?
Yep.
And I'm lumping in Injustice on that one because
Yeah.
battle system
NRS games are the same.
and Street Fighter, right? I look at it in a very bare basics way, like casual way of looking at it is Street Fighter is anime fighting game. The game is over the top and it's fun, right?
Sure.
Yes, it is important to know your footsies, your spacing, blah blah, but it's a lot more fast paced and hectic, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Injustice and Neverwinter, or not Neverwinter. Wow, I've been playing Neverwinter Nights
I
lately.
wish Neverwinter would have a fighting game.
Oh man, it'd be
I think
cool.
they did. I'm gonna have to look that up now. Anyways, NetherRealms games, they're more slow, methodical when it comes to the timing and stuff, and you don't have to have as keen of a reaction time
Sure.
comparatively to, like, say, a Street Fighter, which is much more fast paced, and you might have a little bit more environmental hazards, right? You know,
In Injustice. Or in the Mortal Kombat
it's more
series.
of like, you know, like you have Conan the Barbarian, you have D&D, right? Conan the Barbarian, yes, it's a fantasy setting, but it's low fantasy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Street Fighter's high fantasy. Tekken, it's very low fantasy, but you're not shooting out like Hadoukens. You're not, you know, throwing these crazy, like, you don't have the fireball, right? You have nothing comparable to it.
Right. And of
It's
course,
all about
there's
the
exceptions to
limb
all of this, but generally, yeah.
Yeah. It's all about the limb system, and like it focuses its forefront on footsies more than the other 2 games do, in my opinion. Like, the amount of the tactics in that game rely on footsies far more than the other 2.
I get what you're saying. But I think, you know, kind of going with our idea of like chasing trends and like game starting trends and whatnot, as a whole, we can look at the fighting game genre of video games. And once again, yes, there's I think it's called Karate Kid even. And the original Street Fighter, they existed. But the one that really pushed it all through was Street Fighter 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That's one of the biggest games of all time
Mm-hmm.
in terms of sales numbers and everything, especially with all of its re-releases.
Yeah, and just its impact on culture, which is a very subjective thing, but still.
I feel like
Yeah,
Mortal
of course.
Kombat came close.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is
that one,
there-
of course, had an impact based on like, you know, parents getting upset over the blood.
Yeah.
No. Did you? No, you remember like how you could rip somebody, like the fatalities, how you could do the spine rip with Sub-Zero?
Yeah.
Oof.
Apparently, they didn't think that anybody would find them.
Oh,
A kid
really?
found it by accident. Wouldn't find all of them, right? So a kid found it by accident and he was the first play tester.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, and then the guy was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, No, you can totally do this. It's like, see, it's like, "Hey, mister, you make the games." Like, yeah. It's like, "Didn't you see me?" It's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, kid."
Weird.
It sounds
Oh.
like if a playtester just randomly found the Easter egg in Adventure.
Yeah, but it was like a public play test, right?
Oh, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, to where they bring it to an arcade and see how well it performs.
Sure.
But because that kid kept on like trying to find quarters and stuff to like try to do it again, he was like, "We're on to something here."
That's crazy.
Jesus. I found out that story earlier this week, and it's still probably the funniest fucking thing I've ever heard of a deb doing to a kid.
Like what a cock tease of a dev.
Yeah, it does sound like something Ed Boon would say, Jay. Okay, back on topic.
Mm-hmm.
Were we ever really on topic?
Yeah, well, you know how the show works, as. So, I don't know how to break this gently without it turning into a ruckus, so I'm just going to say it. Fuck loot boxes.
Yep.
I don't know why you think that turned into a ruckus. That's a general idea, right?
Just like, even if it's cosmetic, if it's a premium game, fuck loot boxes. Just throwing it out there.
They can be done well, in my opinion.
They can be done better than like, say, Battlefront 2. I will give you that. But
Yeah.
I personally, and, if they have, it's like, oh, you can do the loot box system or this other system, like, say, microtransactions. Microtransactions to me, if I'm straight up buying, like, skins, say in Overwatch, I'd be fine with that. It's the random chance and the chance that you'll get duplicates I am not a fan of at all. I feel like I'm being taken for a ride.
Yeah, I'm not into buying loot boxes, but if there's an in-game way of just getting them as I'm playing, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for Battlefront 2, like, they did it the absolute worst way possible.
It's like, guys, at least spit on it before you stick it in. Shit. It's like you're EA. I know what I'm signing up for. I know somewhere I'm about to get fucked. But come on.
Yeah, they can, like, do no right lately. I don't get it.
Speaking of them doing no right, didn't you hear they got rid of their free games program?
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, like the EA Origin, like every couple months they give you another free game. Their last free game they gave out was fucking Peggle.
Oh god. I feel like I can play Peggle online free anywhere.
And before that was like a Plants vs. Zombies Game of the Year edition. And I'm like,
What?
I'm like, yeah, they were just giving away all the PopCap games that nobody was fucking buying.
Like, and free on mobile, for example.
Yeah. Just like, oh, this is so sad.
Jesus. God.
But they're like, no. We're now pushing the access thing to where you have to pay to get a bunch of games. And I'm like, or access to a bunch of games. I'm like, fuck you. No nice way of putting that.
Yeah.
Wait, are you confusing their on the house with their Origin access? Is that what you're confusing?
No. They got rid of on the house.
Right. It sounds like you're confusing that.
The access.
No, but my thing is they've had both of them for a while.
Yeah, but
it wasn't like they weren't promoting. It wasn't like they weren't promoting Origin Access.
Yeah, they're getting rid of on the house to put even more funds into access because they're chasing dollars, which makes sense. But I'm like, dude, you could put one guy on the house and his job is to pick a game every 2 months. That's it.
You know what's crazy, and you kind of just reminded me with this Origin thing.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking online services for these video games. What I'm talking is like, you have to have a PlayStation Plus subscription.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have an Xbox Live Gold subscription.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you don't get to play online.
I'm like, motherfuckers, I pay for my internet. What the hell?
It's crazy, right?
But you don't pay them for your internet.
They're not an ISP.
Right.
They can fuck off.
Isn't that just crazy? Like you look back, back during the Halo times, as I don't think we needed that subscription, right?
I'm not
For
sure.
Xbox Live?
No, I think you needed.
I thought Xbox Live was always paid.
Yeah, I thought it was always paid.
Man.
But that was like every game.
It was PlayStation Plus that you didn't need subscription for until
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Or no, it's the PlayStation Network for the PS3, but here's the reason why. They didn't own the servers. Now they do.
Right. So of course they're going to start charging for it.
Jeez.
And we're getting that now with Nintendo too, right? The Switch is finally getting their internet service up.
Yeah.
I have so many problems with the Switch that I refuse to buy one.
Really?
Yeah, and I know that everybody at the TOVG loves the Switch, but it's just the idea of hey, I have a child who is 9, and she will break something. Eventually. It's not an if, it's a when. That's
true.
Part of having a child, right?
Yeah.
So if that particular thing gets broken, right? What happens to my saves? Oh, they just go by. Can I back them up and switch it to another Switch? No. Oh, and with the Wii U was the entire problem of, hey, if this thing goes down, it was the same problem. On top of it was, and I don't know if they fixed it for the Switch, but because any DLCs you bought were locked to the Switch and not your account, any DLCs that you got went by with that thing too, and I'm like, oh.
But
no.
I also don't see you complaining to Steam though, if you were to uninstall a Steam game and then take it off the store.
Say again?
If you were to if you had a Steam game and they took it off the store, you uninstalled it, and they took it off the store afterwards, you lose the game. I don't see you complaining in that sense.
I didn't know that was a thing, but yeah, that's bullshit too.
You know what? I think the big one that I knew with that one, because they take it off and then they bring it back and then they take it off again, is Deadpool.
Yeah, because rights issues.
But yeah, if you don't have that installed, you can't install it afterwards.
Oh shit!
Once it's off the store.
Yeah.
Even if you've purchased it.
Right.
Wow, I did not know that.
That's one of the things about this digital age. That if they ever decide to take them off the storefront, and you have the whole thing installed, you've lost the game.
Kudos to Sony, by the way. If they take it off the storefront, you can go to your past transactions and re-download it, right?
No, it's not. No. PT.
No.
PT is a perfect example of that. No. PT is off the store. You cannot re-download PT.
That is actually an exception to that rule.
That's exactly the point.
That's
of that
the
rule.
one exception. And you didn't buy
exactly
PT as a free demo.
But the point is the fact that you downloaded it and it was listed in your purchases on your PS4, and you can't re-download the game.
But what was it? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1? There was some DLC for that. I bought it before they took it off the store. Then years later, I went back to it and was able to download it and actually be able to play as Juggernaut. But if I didn't buy it beforehand, I would be able to download the patch to where I could play with people that had it, but wouldn't be able to, Yes, a patch was a DLC, which was how early days of the PS3 this was. But yeah, PT would be the exception to that rule, and I'm not even trying to be good guy Sony on it. It's that's one thing I like about them. They did have their own problems, but I'm not going to shit on everybody today.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with Sony. I think it's any independent developer that decides to do that. I don't know if Sony's changed it where developers can't do that now.
I think I'm going to blame, Pachinko Unlimited and International. I mean, Konami.
I'm just saying, what if a company were to decide to do that? I don't think. Even on PlayStation, I don't think they would get it. I don't think you'd get it back.
And with certain countries, if you buy a digital good, and I know with a lot of European countries, you have the right to fucking re-download it as much as you want. So if they did that, would that be breaking any laws, or what's the deal there? Because that seems really anti-consumer if it's something you actually paid for. But moving on. Hey, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you feel about pixel graphics, could you?
Yeah, let me hold on. You can't just toss it to me like that when you.
You skip something, Bob.
So some
No.
pixel graphics.
This one I want to make sure I get in.
Oh,
Because here's the thing.
Guys,
They're cheap
so
to
like,
make, and you see them a lot. But in the prep for the show, like what I do is if I have one guest or two guests, I'll find one of them to figure out the topic. And it's like, hey, let's get to know you a little bit, your gaming history and stuff. And one thing that Pat mentioned is like he's a little tired of seeing constant new releases to where it's like they're using pixel graphics as a gimmick, and I'm kind of tired of seeing them.
here's the thing. Like, you're putting it honestly really nice. I'm really fucking tired of them. It's to the point, like, I don't know how often you guys use Steam, but I use it every day. And I love going through the, like, here's 10 recommended games for you.
Yeah, the queue.
The queue, yeah. Every fucking time I do it, 8 of them are these pixel graphic looking games.
How many?
I wish they would make a thing with the fucking queue to where you could say anything that has this tag, I want nothing to fucking do with it, because I would do that shit with zombies in a goddamn heartbeat.
Sure.
I think you can actually. I believe you can actually.
No, you can make it to where they don't give you DLC or like things that aren't specifically games, or vice versa, but not different types of games.
I feel like I have seen people like say, "Don't show me games related to this tag."
Mm-hmm.
But even then, I've also seen it not even work.
Mm.
Yeah, that could be another thing. It could not even work.
Yeah. But like, I get it. Pixel, and okay, yeah. Technically, every game is pixel graphics, right?
Yeah.
No, I refused to even argue with that because it's like no, because there's different rendering techniques.
We know what I'm talking about here.
But yeah, it's like everything you see on a screen is pixel by pixel. I get that. However, it's just like there's an aesthetic difference.
Oh yeah.
By far, I would say this is probably one of the easiest things to do as a game developer. And I get it, especially like these people who don't have the resources. The people who aren't in these big companies, this is how they can start out in gaming.
Oh yeah, and
100%.
I'll go as far as to say, hey, I'm currently writing a document about a game idea I have, right? Mm-hmm. And when you write one of these, one of the things is like that you have to point out right in is like, this is about what I want it to look like as far as this style of graphics. This is how I want the sound design to be, yada, 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 right?
Sure.
Pixel graphics are there for 2 reasons as someone that's looking into this. One, it's all you can afford.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, right? 2, and this is the shitty one, nostalgia baiting.
Oh yeah.
To where it's like, we're going to make this look exactly like how Chrono Trigger did because this game plays a lot like Chrono Trigger, for example. And I'm just like, no. So far on that document I've got is like, make it look like something from Newgrounds.
Sure.
Like, I was like, I want it to like have a flash feel, but not the stretch that flash animation has.
You know what? And the crazy thing is like, I don't want to say I hate all pixel graphic games,
but it is a turnoff.
Yes and no. Like, because for instance, the big one that came out in this month, right, is Octopath Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I'm
it's
not
3D.
completely turned off from that. But I do think the graphic style that they've chosen makes me less likely to buy the game.
Yeah.
It does seem like a nostalgia bait, like hardcore.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think
it looks like they made
this is a Square Enix game. Like,
it looks like they made a Square Enix RPG version of 3D Dot Heroes, just straight up.
Yeah. I think people are excited that they have a game that reminds them of like Final Fantasy VI.
Mm-hmm.
Which we've talked about.
Because
sure.
Well, with a game like that, it's kind of prolific. It's hard not to, if you talk about RPGs as much as I do.
Well, no, I'm referencing the fact that we had a 2-hour episode on Final Fantasy.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's hard to see an end in sight with things like Enter the Gungeon and Celeste and Shovel Knight. Like, it seems like this is going to be going on for some time, if forever.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's ways of making it look right. Like, for example, Enter the Gungeon. The entire meta of that game is it's a bunch of fucking pun guns.
Yeah, it's true.
But nostalgia isn't just a thing that's in gaming. Like, if you look at a lot of like current trends of fashion TV shows, maybe 80s or 90s inspired at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, heck,
Well,
we've
and I
even
think-
had
I
a
think obviously
resurgence
the reason
of
is
old 90s
because-
anime come back, like Dragon Ball Super.
Well, and the reason is because the people who now start have control over these elements are our generation,
Yeah.
right? And that's what we grew up with.
It's true.
So it just makes sense that what we grew up with is what's going to be the thing that inspires us.
That makes me think, in 20 years, are we going to get developers who have who flash back to old GTA graphics where their hands are like this?
Yeah, like PS1
maybe, man.
graphics, that's going to be the new
Maybe
retro.
we get
You get
there.
a bunch of polygon games.
Oh,
It's like low-res polygons.
The hope is that
No.
they maybe just take mechanics.
please no, because some of the mechanics I hated, like tank controls, just fuck that.
Sure, I get what you're saying. Yeah, they can burn in a special place in hell.
Like they can be in the pineapple that's going up Hitler's ass right this moment, for all I care. Okay, just send them to hell.
That was the big turnoff why I hated Resident Evil games for the longest time.
Yeah, same here. It was 4 that got me to where I'm like, okay. And thing is, it was just a perspective shift. It's the same
Yeah.
controls.
That's all it was.
The
what I
perspective
think
shift made it.
That's why 7 works.
Yeah, honestly, bringing it into the first-person view, that was pretty damn neat.
Yeah, or even the over the shoulder. I didn't mind it at all.
And that being said, like that's the reason why the RE2 remake's coming out, and I'm much more inclined to buy that game.
Trying to remember, there's Metal Gear Solid. Remember how in the second one you could get that first person mode to get the shot right?
Yes.
They made a version of it for the game version of the PS1 one, the first Metal Gear Solid, for the GameCube that had those mechanics injected in it, and it made that game
interesting.
better.
Very
It's
interesting.
Twin Snakes, if I remember right. But we're gonna knock out these next 3 kind of quickish.
Okay.
100-Man Royale. That's the current big...
Huge right now.
Oh, dear God. And the thing is the one I was interested in failed the hardest.
Oh, yeah.
Radical Heights. Because the aesthetic was fun and just fabulous and all that good stuff, right?
See, when you put this on there, I immediately want to bring up the Culling 2 because that game was out for 5 days and got shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talk about
honestly,
chasing a trend.
this is the cynic in me. I don't know if they did it on purpose as a huge marketing ploy for the original Culling again.
No, they literally tried to jump on the trend, and it fell flat on its face, and they canceled it.
And the Culling was before PUBG. Oh,
Gosh.
Jesus.
The Radical Heights reminds me so much of Fortnite.
Yeah, like it's right between the two, and like Fortnite was like, it's a little too cartoony for me, graphics wise.
This one looks the same.
Yes and no. And the build mechanic was a little too, like I can't wrap my hands around it for some reason. My hands.
Oh,
go
I
stupid.
see. Gotcha.
I just want to
It's
be
not
able to
tangible.
shoot well. That's it, right? But with Radical Heights, I'm like, okay, they're not going for a cartoony aesthetic, but they're going for a cartoony world. Like, say, if you somehow made a 100-Man Royale out of a Saints Row game.
Yeah.
Like, I could see a dildo bat in that game, and it work.
Was Agents of Mayhem like that?
I thought it was just an open world game that was
I don't know. I didn't play it.
like an arcade. Yeah, I gave that one a pass too because my piece of crap computer couldn't run it, even if it's on the PC. But I was just like, cool, that's the thing. Moving on. But yeah, that crashed, and I'm like, oh. But it seems like every game right now, they're like, oh, this is what people want. This is what they want to spend money on.
Yeah,
how
it's funny.
about Hi-Res being trend jumpers? chasing Overwatch and Battle Royale
Yeah, it's true.
with Paladins,
With Paladins.
and Battle
Paladins,
Royale
yeah.
or Realm Royale.
Paladins pissed me off, and I don't know if they fixed it, but with
Still
that
pisses me off.
with that card mechanic shit they injected in to where it turned
I
into
think they
a
fixed
slot
it.
machine.
I think they
Basically.
fixed that.
The thing that I'm interested to see,
Mhm.
because I think, above everything else, this is, the new hot
New hotness.
the new hot trend of game.
Yeah.
Like, I'm interested to see just how far it goes.
Yeah.
Are we going to get Star Wars Battle Royale?
I don't. I mean, well, I don't think it's going to go much further because I think it was just about dead. And if Fortnite didn't happen, I think it would have died right there.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing: because Fortnite did happen, like
It breathed new life into it. Yeah.
this is incredible. Like dominance. You look at Twitch viewership. Fortnite's always number one, right?
Yeah, it's
And
always in the
honestly,
top row at the very least.
PUBG's pretty close behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, all it takes is like putting a little bit of effort into one, and you could, have another semi-hit on your hand. Will it ever get as big as Fortnite? Maybe not.
But the
But
big thing about
could it get as
Fortnite
big as PUBG? Maybe.
and why I don't think it's like a clone of PUBG like some people claim. I'm like, it's got a different art style, got way different physics, and it has an entirely different mechanic layered on top of it.
But
Sure.
you can't say it wasn't heavily inspired by PUBG.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with inspiration,
Because
but I'm just
it-
saying like it's not a complete one-to-one ripoff.
Because Fortnite at launch did not have the Battle Royale mode in it.
It's true.
Oh yeah, they added that and made that the
They-
free-to-play feature.
They added it because it was quote unquote easy to make. It was easy to make that as a game mode.
Yeah.
I mean,
That thing originally
it
was
was-
just supposed to be some extra stupid thing that they did.
It was so easy to make that they made this in a day and put it on April Fool's. Path of Exile had a Battle Royale mode for a day for April 1st this year.
Yeah, I remember I showed that to you. I was like, "Is this real?"
And yes, it's fun because I love me some ARPGs.
Oh my god! I even saw a battle royale mode in a game that I never expected it after this like craze. It's like this free online game, Agario. I don't know if you guys heard of it.
Yeah, I've heard of
It's
it.
just a cell eating game, and they added a battle royale mode, and I was like, "This is stupid."
Oh no, what's gonna kill me is if genital jousting jumps on.
Oh my god! Oh man!
It's like if you get fucked, you die.
I think the reason that can't for lack of a better phrase jump on is because
They're banned on Twitch.
exactly. I don't think you can stream genital jousting anywhere, so I don't think any kind of game of that style that does that can't really catch on because you can't broadcast it.
But oh my god, that like if even if they did it as a joke, I would piss myself laughing just straight
Yes,
up.
Devolver would totally do that. Yes, they would.
That'd be so funny.
Devolver's so good at taking the piss out of everything. All right, so let's. You guys ever played any of the Telltale games?
I played the Back to the Future one.
Wow, that was one of the early ones.
Yeah,
Pat?
that was like the only one I played.
I never played them. I watched
You ever
them.
played an adventure game?
No, see, because I've watched them, right? Because the way that those games are built, I can just watch somebody else play them, and I have nearly the full experience.
Basically, like, here's the thing. I got the first episode of the Borderlands one for free on my fucking phone. That's how easy they are to play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they're video game TV episodes.
I am super opposed to them. I'm just gonna flat out say that I think they're ridiculous,
here's the
and
thing.
they're for like very different people's taste than mine.
Yeah. You're not opposed to their existence. You're opposed to you playing them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Just figured for the listeners, I'd help clarify that to where they're not like
I appreciate that.
writing angry fan mails like he's figured. Ted said that this game shouldn't exist, and my mangina hurts.
Like,
Calm down. He's just saying he would never want to play one himself.
I just at that point, it gets so far to that point. I'll just watch Netflix or something. It just feels like it's so limited interactively.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I'll take it a step further and say I don't even really count them as games. Honestly.
Yeah,
Well,
I might.
They're just
agree.
interactive
in the
stories.
loosest of sense, if that makes sense. Like,
Sure. Like
they
it's
hit-
the same way you could say like what was that? Dear Esther.
yeah,
Technically a game. I'd never count it as one though.
Walking Sims in general.
yeah.
What's that?
Just Walking Sims in general.
Yeah.
Carter.
Yeah, exactly.
Going to the Rapture.
Kathy Rain,
Like-
maybe.
You have like no
I mean,
stakes.
if there's puzzle elements in it, I'm like, oh, it's a puzzle game, right?
Sure.
You know, like
for
was
instance,
it the
Myst?
Watcher or was it?
Myst is a game.
Yeah, Myst
Yeah.
is very much a game. Yeah.
But when it comes to these games, it's just like, oh, now everybody's releasing their shit episodic. Why?
Yeah.
It's like, just sell me the fucking game and let me go on my way. It's like, you do realize that once I put down a game, I have a very bad habit of not coming back to it, right? So
Yeah.
if you sell episodically, you might get that first episode. You probably won't get that second, third, and fourth episode out of me. Just like,
Yeah.
Right.
It's crazy, and like the episodic thing is another thing altogether, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
And that's literally where I was leading this to.
I don't know if you guys have ever played or know of that horror game Bendy and the Ink Machine.
Yes, I do. I watch Matt Pat stuff all the time.
Yeah. So they're on their 4th out of 5th episode of the game.
I thought it was done.
No, the 5th one's coming.
Fifth one's coming.
They have more story to tell. But it's interesting because those ones are actually games.
Like they're
So the crazy thing is, and as far as I know, Telltale didn't start episodic formatting.
no, like I think some early Sam & Max was that way, and some other.
Or even before that, we had like
you gotta go back to-
Half-Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah.
go back even further to like LucasArts
Right.
with like Day of the Tentacle and everything.
But like,
Was Day
Boy,
of the Tentacle
howdy, is it an-
episodic?
I don't know if Day of the Tentacle specifically, but like Full Throttle was.
right.
Oh yeah. And I know like one of the Sam & Max from back in the day when LucasArts made them was.
But it's so annoying to have to deal with that.
Yeah, I agree.
To an extent, like, I would more prefer if they were just like, hey, this is part 2.
Yeah.
This is a sequel.
Yeah. Full out and just put the dev time in.
Yeah. Instead, it feels like we're literally missing out on game.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it feels like I'm getting shortchanged when I buy an episodic game, you know?
Mhm.
And
I get you.
Because, okay, yes, in normal sequels, there's going to be a little bit of a disjointedness between 1 and 2, right? That happens.
Right.
You know, the plot might have moved forward without me, you know, like the classic time skip. But it's like, oh, this is supposed to take up from the moment the last event happened in the last episode. I'm like, it's harder for me to get into, which leads to a lesser play experience on my end. And sometimes bad writing happens to where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're putting a time skip between these 2 episodes. And I'm like, now this feels even more like a sequel. What the hell? Why is this another episode?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, Jay brought up reminded me of something. I played Quantum Break. I don't know if you guys have played it or heard of it.
heard of
I
it,
haven't
yes.
played
Played
it.
it? Fuck no.
I
did
haven't played it.
They did a really weird thing where they just did high production like TV show episodes and just had you watch them in
And
the
they would
game.
go wouldn't they go on for so long your controller would fall asleep?
Yeah, it was crazy, like 20, 30-minute things.
Like,
And I
they
was
were
like,
full-on
what
TV
is
episodes, weren't they? With
Yeah.
Butterfinger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. It was so strange. Like, it was definitely not immersive. Like, it definitely took me out of the game. It was really weird.
That's cross-media gone horribly wrong.
Yeah. I guess I value that the game devs are trying something outlandish like that,
Yeah.
and maybe we can see someone do that effectively in the future, but
Yeah.
for now, not. Like, that was just too weird.
Yeah. And I dislike, up to despise, dependent on frequency, moments in the game where the game takes control away from you.
Yeah.
And when I heard that was in it, I'm like, this wasn't built for me. Moving on. Just straight up. Nope. I've learned to know, like, okay, these are the type of games I do like. These things, like, in programming I really enjoy personally. And the more you take the controller away from me, the less enjoyment I'm getting out of those particular moments.
Yeah, like
And if it
real
becomes
shooters
too
kind of get
frequent,
that for me.
I will step the fuck away. Speaking of shooters, since you brought those up, you remember when you couldn't get away from zombies? Like, they were just fucking everywhere?
Yes.
I feel like that's still going on.
Well,
there was a
they're
thing.
still crawling, but it wasn't like the running 28 days later running horde that it used to be.
Yeah.
Or how about the games you get to run from the zombies doing parkour? About that series of games.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, you got a first-person shooter? Well, you got to have a zombie mode, because World War happened, so you have to have a zombie mode. Every first-person shooter has to have a zombie mode. I'm like, can I please... I said this out loud because I was just sighed, because, like, my car was broke down. I had a family member bring me to the GameStop because I was trading in some games and buying some. And I just saw, like, an entire row of nothing but games that had zombies in them, and I'm just sighed. I was like, can I please have a game to where a zombie doesn't stick his dick in it? Meanwhile, my grandmother's like right fucking next to me, so I'll get hit in the back of the head. I'm like, sorry, but still.
Yeah.
I said it. Who came with said was once said cannot be unsaid.
Just like, ugh.
I guess for me, and I'm not huge into FPSs, but zombie modes kind of attract me to those games. If I'm gonna pick them up.
Yeah, with me, I'm more of a, I hate military style FPSs, right? I like the more outlandish ones to where it's like, oh, this feels like an arcade game. It's like, for example, Borderlands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it has RPG elements, but even the gunplay is really fucking arcadey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
None of those guns feels like a gun. It feels like a...
Right.
Like, I'm playing, like, you know, cowboys and
Cowboys and aliens.
Yeah. Or it's like I'm playing Cowboys and oh my god, what is that? Because of the flora and the fauna is so interesting, right?
Yeah.
You know, it feels like everything in there could exist in a sci-fi universe in a Buck Rogers sort of way.
Yeah, I'm still surprised by how many new games are like zombie games. Like, it just feels like it's getting less and less attractive as time goes on.
Yeah, and something I've always noticed with those games, especially on Steam, if you buy one and boot it up, first thing you're just going to say is, powered by Unity. Oh, that explains it. This explains a lot.
Like, we're still, like, in the throngs of all the Walking Dead, the shows and stuff and influences.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do feel like it's kind of on the, like, outswing.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It does.
It's falling out of vogue, definitely. And
it only took a decade.
Well, zombies never really die. They're already dead. Why am I
you
not
make a great
surprised
point.
with video game zombies that they're just as hard to get rid of, you know?
Yeah, like the zombies in Last of Us 2. Those are those are going to be pretty exciting to me.
Yeah, and they're a different type of zombie. It's not the
Sure.
I bite you, you're a zombie. It's a fungus.
Yeah.
It's based off of, what is it, cordyceps?
Mhm.
That's a very interesting take that brings life and lore into the game to make the world feel a little bit more lived in.
You know what? And that's just it. I'm not saying I don't want to shit on like all zombie games because like
Yeah.
it can be done well. You just have to put a little more thought than like there are zombies.
And they're fast
Go.
and they hurt you.
Yeah. One of the first things that you learn when you're pitching a game idea, like, one, make every pitch an elevator pitch. If you're
Sure.
going to show a demo or like some sort of production, right? If you have like placeholder assets, make it clear in your presentation on what is a placeholder asset and what isn't.
Sure.
And lastly, be fully prepared that if you're going to be dumb enough to say, oh, it's like this game, for them to ask, so that game already exists, why should we fund yours?
Sure.
Right? And that game plus this other thing, this one thing, does not make a whole new game. It does not make a whole new experience for the most part.
No.
Like, the other thing has to be pretty big. Yeah, Jay, I remember Black. That thing was kind of buggy. Great gunplay, though. But, yeah. I think that pretty much does it, because as part of the normal, we went over time. But
Sure.
no matter. Can you tell the lovely folks where to find you, what you guys do on the internet? You know, both get 5 minutes apiece. You know, rock, paper, scissors out on who goes first.
5 minutes apiece?
But
Yes.
I feel like I need 30 seconds.
yeah, same.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know, up to, you can take 30 seconds. I don't care.
Oh man, you ready for this? All right, guys. My name's Pat. I'm the editor for The Completionist. Go check us out at The Completionist everywhere. Also, I stream on twitch.tv/The Loading Network.
And you can also
Sorry,
find
it's actually
his,
twitch.tv/Loading Network.
Yeah,
And
just
if you're
yeah,
watching
loading
this,
network. Yeah.
his Twitter handle's right below his face.
My Twitter handle's right below. Guys, that's all I do. All I do is play video games and work
And hide in a box.
and hide in a box. That's it. That's my life.
So you're Snake if he was a Taku. Got it.
Yeah, sure.
For me, pretty much the same, honestly. Sometimes I'm in the completionist episodes. I write the top 10s for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I have another YouTube channel, but as time goes on, we post less and less. Like, we post like 2 videos a year, but that's called Addicted to Deidre.
Uh-huh.
And
Alright.
that's pretty much my entire online presence.
Yeah, and you guys do an interesting thing with y'all's with the Loading Network, with y'all's Twitch.tv page. You guys
Do
will
we?
tag off on who streams that particular day, to where every other day, like, you know who's streaming.
Yeah,
And
correct.
Sundays, I think Sundays is usually your rest day.
Right. Usually we take Sundays off, but we always leave it up to, like, you know, if one of us is feeling it, if it's not 90 degrees in our house,
yeah.
like, maybe we'll play something, you know?
Like a new co-op game comes out that we both love or something like that. Maybe we'll stream
Play
those days.
together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we just thought it was a really cool idea, and we don't really see many other Twitch streamers doing that. And we try to make there be stuff for everyone.
Yeah,
And,
and
like-
I think I've seen like a handful do it to where it's just 2 people, but usually they're playing at the same time. It's very rare to where it's specifically, no, we'll swap off. And it's just us hanging out with you guys, sort of thing. So,
Yeah.
kudos to you.
Absolutely,
Thank
bro.
you. And thank you for having us on the show.
Oh, no, it's definitely our pleasure. You guys are very fun. So it was like, I didn't know what to expect, because for people who don't know, Ted's character, and it is a character, like, like I knew full well it was a character, but I'm just like, wait, how much of that is actually based off of him? Because I've seen you in the podcast, and then I'm like, oh, this could be interesting.
Oh man, I miss those.
Yeah. I got that from Brett too, believe it or not. I was like, man, I want to get back to the podcast. I was like, it sounds like you guys got too much shit to do is the problem.
Yeah.
It is a lot of stuff, yeah.
Like, what was it? Gerard 100% completes a game. And probably, I'd say, a week in advance to give you guys time to script it, film it, edit it. And even a week, that's a lot.
If we're lucky.
Right. And
Yeah,
he'll
if
like
everything
he'll have games
goes right,
like Hyrule
ideally.
Warriors where he'll play it for like a couple of months, but he's still having to complete other games in between.
Yeah.
He has a backburn. That's the big, chunky one.
Right.
Yeah. I was very curious about his process, so what I did for about 3 months is just beat, not 100% complete, just beat a game a week and review it. And after 3 months, I'm like, I am not doing this shit anymore. It's driving
Yeah, I
me
feel you.
nuts. Like, oh my god, I could not do that shit, and I could imagine how hectic it gets in that office.
I remember you being burnt out from that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was also
you're like, I'm gonna go sleep for a month.
Seriously, because I was putting out 5 videos a week,
Jeez.
and it was just me. I was my own editor.
Gosh.
I
That's
had
rough.
a podcast, a review, some gameplay sessions because those were very easy to do. Like I'd edit down us playing D&D. It was insane, and it quit being fun. And once it quit being fun, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I sure as fuck wasn't making money doing it.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
But thanks for showing up. It is an honor to have you guys on.
Sure.
But that being said, I'm going to go and shell our shit now.
Right on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ZiplockBob. You can find this podcast here on twitch.tv/ZiplockBob if you're watching it in the future over on the YouTube channel at Bottle Rocket Gaming, youtube.com/Bottle Rocket Gaming. It's also at podcast.com/Sequel Syndrome. Just search Sequel Syndrome, and it will also be on iTunes 2 weeks from its live recording. That would be the
10th, right?
The 10th on that Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Well, it's been fun. It's been real. And actually, it's been real fucking fun. It's been a blast.
Yeah, it is.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
All right. See you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.